Mr.
Young, let's go to you to answer this basic philosophical question. You were involved with a private company. As Atlas missiles, rockets, are they so limited that they're not going to be able to pick up some of this weight that we need to put up into space? Was your company less competent than NASA to move forward and run some sort of operation that could put human beings into space?
Let me see if I extract a question out of that.
All right, let's go.
Let me comment, because it's an important issue that you're identifying. First off, let me tell you, Atlas is not commercial, and I'll come back to that in a minute. Bear with me. I'll come back. I am a product of the aerospace industry, so I have a teensy bit of knowledge about the aerospace industry. I am strongly against commercial crew, and let me tell you why. Okay. I believe our aerospace industry is second to none. My issues are not with aerospace industry, either the more mature or the developing. My issue is that I do not believe the aerospace industry alone can successfully execute a program as challenging and complex as human spaceflight. And let me see if I can give you a little bit of why I say that. The continuity of expertise that we have in this country as to how do you do human spaceflight is with NASA, not with any company. Companies, the different companies come in and out doing the programs, and they do well. But they do well as a partner with NASA, not when we turn the total responsibility over to the industry. Now, let me give you an example. We tried this. In the 90s, we actually tried it wholeheartedly. And the Air Force implemented something they called acquisition reform. Fundamentally, what they did was they took system responsibility for national security space programs, and they ceded it to industry. And they did it contractually. They did it with something that was called Total System Performance Responsibility, or TSPR. And in essence, they told their program managers, look, you stand back. Get out of the way, sit in the back of the room, don't ask questions, we're turning this over to industry. They went further than that. The government had an enormous systems engineering capability. We terminated it. And we went about implementing a collection of the most important national security space programs that this country has. The results were devastating, and the adverse impact is with us today. In essence, what happened was good project managers left, because if they can't influence what they're doing, they don't want to do the job. As I mentioned earlier, good people have a choice. The systems engineering capability was eliminated, which was a horrible item, and the projects were a disaster. And I don't think there's anybody who believes that TSPR was anything other than a total failure. And let me give you some examples. This was not isolated, it was systemic. Boeing, FIA, $10 billion canceled. SBIRS program with Lockheed Martin. There is a quote, if you wanted to find out how to not manage a space program, this is it. INPOS is one. And actually, I went back and looked at it. Of these programs from the 1990s, not one of them, except wideband gap filler, has been launched. These all started in the late 90s, and not one has been launched to date. And in essence, if you take and average those programs, what you'll find is the following. Today, we are getting half of the program content for twice the money 6 years late. So you say, now, why do I think, and I could go on with NASA, but I'm going to make it short. The Aerospace Corporation actually documented, there's a report, that there were $11.2 billion worth of total mission failures in this time period. I think you can trace it to this. And the reason is that the industry is not constituted to do these things by themselves. We have a technique where if you take the expertise of NASA and the implementation capability of industry, and I'm not in favor of a NASA arsenal, but if you take the institutional capability of NASA and you take the execution or implementation capability of industry, you've got kind of the beginnings of the keys to success. What this results in, good checks and balances, good debate, good mission assurance practices,